you need to watch out to find out when did the company start operation to determine whether to apply the old law or the new law. The company starts operation in 1999, you're going to apply the old law. The company starts operation in 2000, you're going to apply the old law. The company starts operation in 2017, you're going to apply the old law for a start. Then, if a company starts operation in 2020, that is when you should think about applying the new law, which is a Finance Act. Now, because you can still be tested to say, okay, company started operation in 2017, for example. So that's why it's important to also know what the old law is talking about. Now, there are basic rules that guide the old law then that we need to follow. Uh, there are rules that we need to follow. So, rules of the old law. Okay, rules of the old law. The first rule is that you need to identify the dates of commencement of the business. Identify the dates of commencement. Okay, this is pretty important. Then identify the dates. So if a company commenced operation 1st of November 2021, you need to identify when the company commenced operation, and don't mistake commencement date with incorporation date. The question can try to be tricky. Say a company was incorporated this date and commenced operation another date. So what you are watching out for is the commencement date. After identifying the date of commencement, identify the year of commencement. Identify the year of commencement. Okay. So if the company commenced operation in 1st of November, let's have it here. Let's even use an earlier date, say 1st of April. So commencement date 1st of April, right? Um, say 2016. All right. So I already identify the commencement date for this company. Okay, and it is 1st of April 2016. So the year of commencement is going to be 2016. So the next thing is that you need to identify the year of assessment, and which you have done is 2016. You're going to identify two other subsequent years. Identify two other subsequent years. Okay, so which means that as I'm writing this, I'm also trying to solve it somewhere here. So I have identified 2016 as my first year of commencement. Okay, that is 2016. Then I have 2017. Then I have 2018. So really, the law of the rules of the old law, it's really governs the first 3 years. So what we try to do now is that you have identified the first three relevant years. Okay, you have identified the first three relevant years. The first year being the year of commencement itself. The second year and the third year are the years after the year of commencement, which are 2017 and 2018. Okay, now, after you have identified these 3 years, together they will form the first 3 years of assessment. Okay, together they will form the first 3 years of assessment. Remember that I'd mentioned that year of assessment can also be called tax year. So, tax year, year of assessment are the same thing. Now, the fourth thing to do is that you want to determine the basis period of these years of assessment, because this is where the rule is. So, for the first year, the basis period for the first year is going to be from when the company starts operation to 31st of December of the same year, regardless of the company's financial year end. Okay, so the law for the first year, which is 2016 in this case, is going to be from when the company commenced operation, 1st of April 2016, to 31st of December of that same year. So we have said that the company commenced operation 1st of April 2016. So the basis period is going to start from 01 01 2016 to 31st December 2016. Okay, so you can see, sorry, I beg your pardon, it's going to be 0104 because April is 04. So it's going to be from 0104 2016 to 31st of December 2016. Okay, so that is the first rule, being the rule for the first year of assessment, being the rule for the first year of assessment. Okay. Remember I said that it regardless of the company's financial year end, let's assume that the company's financial year end is October, October every year. So that means that the company prepares its financial statement as at 31st October of every year, of every year. So regardless of the financial year end of the company, the first law is from April to December. April being that that is when the company started. This is just the law. The second year of assessment basis period will also start from when the first one started, which is also from 1st of April 2016. But in this case, would not end in December, but we end in a period after 12 months. End in a period after 12 months. And that's going to be, we're going to count from April up to the last 12 months. And that's going to be 31st of March 2017. 31st of March 2017. So you'd see that uh, together all inclusive, it's a 12-month period. Nothing must change this rule, right? It's a rule that you're typically following from the date of commencement, that's for the second day of assessment, up to a period after 12 months. Then the third year is going to be assessed on a preceding year basis, on a preceding year basis. And when you are assessing a company on a preceding year basis, you need to consider the financial year end, just like we've done when we are preparing this year. So now, the way I would normally teach my students is to say that for a beginner, just start from the last date, not don't start from the beginning. Okay, on a preceding year basis. So what it means is that I am going to consider that it is going to end on 31st, being that October is the financial year end of the company. So the date must end on 31st October. October is 10th. But when now, it's going to be a year before 2018. So that's going to be 2017. Okay, so you can see what I'm doing. Preceding year business means that it must end on the financial year end of the company, and the date, the year must be a year before the year of assessment. So when is it going to start from? Okay, when is it going to start from? It is going to start from a period that is 12 months before that 2017. So you count 12 months backward, and that is going to be 1st of November, 1st of November 2016. 1st of November 2016. Okay, so if you look at this, this will give you a 12 months period. You have prepared the business period on a preceding year basis. Okay, so what that means is that the last year, 2018, is going to be prepared using the preceding year business period, and that preceding year business period would consider the financial year end of the company. And since you already understand what preceding year basis means, that this date or the year of assessment is going to be a year after the last date year. Okay, all you need to do is to count 12 months backward. All right. So from the fourth year going forward, fourth year, fifth year, sixth year, seventh year, etc., the business period is going to be prepared on a preceding year basis. On a preceding year basis, assuming there is no cessation or change in the accounting date. So if I want to include the fourth year, for example, right, just come with me. Since I already mentioned that the fourth year going forward is going to be on a preceding year basis as well, I would also use the same trick. That would also mean 31st October. But since my year of assessment is 2019, this is going to be 2018. Then I'm going to have 12 months backward, and that is going to be 1st of November 2017. In this case, you have the correct basis period. Okay, now that we understand the old law, right, let's quickly move on to solving some questions. I have two questions for us to solve under the old law. All right, so this is question one and question two. Once we understand the old law, we will then move on to how to treat basis period under the new law, which is the Finance Act 2019. So this question says that Chris Limited commenced business 1st of July 1996 and makes up accounts to 31st October of every year. The adjusted profits of the company for the first 3 years shows the following. Period to 31st October 1996, he has 30,000 profits. Year ended 31st October 97, 60,000. Year ended 31st October 98, 100,000. Compute the assessment for the relevant years. Okay, so things you need to first look out for are, when did the company commence operation? You want to find out initially whether should I use the old law or the new law. So, uh, determine when did the company commence operation. The question has mentioned that Chris Limited commenced operation 1st of July 96. 96 means that that was a year before, that was a year before the Finance Act, right? So that means you're going to be using the old law because the company did not commence operation in the year 2020. So if that is the case, we are going to solve it by having our year of assessment here. Okay, then you're going to have basis period, basis period here. Okay, and then let's have, since we already have profits now, let's have adjusted profits here. Adjusted profits here. Okay, so I'm just going to quickly do some formatting to these so that it can all make sense. Let's bring in our narrow sign to this here, and then let's make it in accounting. Okay, now the company commenced operation in 1996. Remember, the law says that we need to identify the first year of assessment, right? That would serve as the year the company commenced operation. In this case, it is going to be 1996. That will be when the company started operation. That will be our first year of assessment. Then the second year of assessment will be the year that follows. Then the third year of assessment will be the next year, 1998. So I have my three relevant years, but I can further proceed to have additional one more year because of my available data. So my data ends in 1998. Usually, it means that if I have the data that ends 98, I could have a year of assessment that ends in 1999. Okay, and you're going to see the reason for that very shortly. Now, the basis period for the first year, like we said, is going to be from when the company started operation to 31st of December. So I'm going to have from 1st of July, that's oh 07, 1996 to 31st of December. You see, regardless of the financial year, it has to be 31st of December 1996. Okay, then for 97, it is going to be from the beginning again, that is 1st of July 1996 again Now to a period after 12 months, and that's going to be 30th of June. Let's make it 06. 30th of June 1997. So you see, that's a 12-month period. Now, the third year of assessment is going to be on a preceding year basis. So in this case, remember the trick, preceding year basis will consider the financial year net. So I'll start with 31st October, which is the financial year end. Since my year of assessment is 1998, this is going to be 1997. But when am I supposed to start? 12 months backward. Okay, and that is going to be 1st of November 1996. 1996. Okay, so you'd see that I have a 12-month period. Then, since you already mastered this now, I can just proceed to prepare 1999 since it follows the same principle. So I'll just say basis period for 1999 is going to be 1st of November 1997, which is going to be a day after the last one, up to 31st of October 1998. Perfect. So we have a correct basis period. In this case, we have a correct basis period. So the next order now is going